guy in place of the guy that I'm going to move up, which is Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's just take a look at what Sam Darnold did this past week versus Baker and versus Jaden Daniels. So when you look at just from a completion percentage standpoint, wasn't as good as Daniels, but it was better than Baker. Yards, he's better than Daniels. Okay, a little bit less than Baker. More TDs than either one of them. A better passer rating than both of them. Okay, so that's what he did. That's part of this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's look at him over the course of the season. He's the only guy that's 4-0.
Yeah, I like that.
Look at his quarterback rating. It's 118.9. Look at how many TDs he has. It's 11 TDs. I love the story that Baker has, but you got to give Sam Darnold more credit for his redemption story than you're giving right now. And you got to bring Jaden down a little bit. I mean, you are the guy that put Caleb on the mountain last year higher than he currently is now.
Yeah.
So I get that you'd like to jump the gun.
Okay, all right.
It's a little
listen,
unfair.
No need to attack me.
Well,
We can
I'm
just keep it professional.
I'm just reminding
and
the
talk
viewers.
about Sam Darnold. The
Reminding
viewers
the viewers.
remember quite well that Caleb Williams was scaling the side of Mahomes Mountain, as he will throughout the course of this year and his rise back to the top. So you're right, Coach. If Sam Darnold didn't have 6 years of a career prior to this season, I would have him higher. But he does.
He's 8-2 in his last 10 starts. He was 4-2 in Carolina. But
Okay.
I guess
that's when he took the job.
All right,
I guess
so-
we're not counting about that tapestry.
So here's the reason you're right. I'm not
Get him,
counting the
Genie.
Carolina thing, because wow, he was the quarterback in Carolina last year. It's like, no, actually that was 2 years ago. So wait, after going 4-2 in Carolina or 6-2, there was not a team in the league that would be like, hey, compete for a starting job? The answer was no, there wasn't.
I guess they regret that, don't they?
Well, I don't
think
know.
Carolina probably regrets it now.
Whether they do or they don't, the point that I'm making is I feel like Sam Darnold was really good in Carolina is one of those many things that is belied by the fact those games were on television. And like he wasn't really good in Carolina. They won some games and he had a nice little stretch where he was running the football. This year he's been awesome. There's no denying it, which is why he has risen. He's the only quarterback other than Jaden to rise every week. I think that's worth something.
He played better than Baker, but he's lower than Baker. You have a love affair with Baker.
No, that's not true. It's not true. I don't know that I agree with you that he's played better than Baker in the context of the games and what the teams are asking from him. I don't know that. Okay. Well, it's certainly not quarterback wins mountain.
No.
I'll tell you that much right now.
And all his other stats, but we'll forget about that.
Listen, he's played really well. He's rising. Go ahead, bro.
Coach.
Whoa, I love Mangini. Speaking that truth, I love to see it. And first off, of course Sam Darnold has been better than Baker Mayfield. Like, it's not even up for debate. Like what? I mean, and considering who the Minnesota Vikings have played is infinitely better teams. And we know that just based off of Nick Wright's own team rankings of what he believes. He believes that the Eagles are an awful team with an awful defense. So the fact that Baker Mayfield put up good numbers should mean essentially nothing, right? According to Nick. He thinks that the Green Bay Packers are a top team. The Vikings beat them. He thinks the 49ers are a top team. Vikings beat them. So it just doesn't make sense. I mean, it really doesn't. What the Vikings are doing are just unbelievable, and what Sam Darnold is doing has just been unbelievable. They've just been so dominant, and Sam Darnold has been great. He's absolutely been great. He's been better than Geno Smith. He's been better than Dak Prescott. He's been better than Baker Mayfield, right? Like, it's just not even up for debate. And again, this mountain, we always joke it's just based off of nonsense, essentially, right? The rich tapestry is just a way of saying, yeah, I'm just making this up. Because this isn't saying who do we think is just the best quarterback in general, right? Like, otherwise, if that was the case, then this mountain wouldn't change. That's what I always try to emphasize. If it was just based off of who we truly feel that these quarterbacks are, these quarterbacks wouldn't be moving up and down all the time, right? Lamar Jackson wouldn't be moving. Josh Allen wouldn't be moving. Even Patrick Mahomes last year technically moved down, and he was on the second row by himself, and there was nobody at the top. So obviously we know, like that's why I always laugh, like it's always just made up, right? Because many of these quarterbacks, the way how how Nick or anyone really views them. Whether Allen won big versus the Ravens or lost versus the Ravens, it wouldn't be enough to move him down a notch. And then he plays good the next week, and so then he moves up. Like, it's obviously not the way it works. So we're talking about this season right now. Sam Darnold is a top quarterback in the NFL. You can keep telling yourself that it's fake, but you know what? The Vikings have asked Sam Darnold to do a lot. He was able to win games and put up numbers with Jefferson half in the lineup, half not in the lineup, missing Addison, missing the tight end. I can't think of his name right now. And so I'm all frazzled right now, and oh my god, it's 2:00 in the morning. I gotta stop making these videos so late. I can't, like, and I'm all fired up now, and now I'm like not gonna be able to go to bed, and then I gotta wake up in the morning and record more videos, more clips. I can't even remember names of players anymore. And so yeah, it just is what it is, and people are still struggling to accept it, and like it's like, oh my god, like what is everybody waiting for? I don't understand why people think that it's so easy for quarterbacks just to magically play as great as Sam Darnold has been able to. I don't know why everyone's so convinced that it's fool's gold. Yes, we've seen quarterbacks get on hot streaks, right? But it's so obvious why those things happen. It's because the team around them is stacked. It's because they're playing a lot of bad teams. It's because they're getting away with a lot of mistakes, right? Like, there was plenty of balls that could have been intercepted, but they weren't. They were tipped and then actually caught by their own wide receiver, who then took it for a 40-yard touchdown. Like, there's all these little things that you go back and point to and say, oh, that's why that backup quarterback was able to win 5 games in a row. Look who they were playing, and look how many times he was throwing the ball. And actually, he only has 1 touchdown in 3 games, right? Like, whatever it may be, like, you can actually really point to it. You can't point to Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings and say, well, yeah, look what they're doing. They played the Giants, the Browns, and the Jags, and, the Dallas Cowboys. Sorry, Cowboys fans. Like, that's not the case here. They're playing legitimate top contenders. And Sam Darnold's not just handing the ball off and throwing little 5-yard dink and dunks. They're asking him to be a legitimate quarterback, to execute the offense as seen as Kevin O'Connell. So, like, they're not babying Sam Darnold. They're just not. You know who they're babying? Caleb Williams, right? Like, that's who they're babying. So if you want to talk about a quarterback who's not really being asked to do a whole lot or to be succeeded, is, look no further than whatever the heck they're doing with Caleb. So no, I mean, it's just nonsense, man. Nonsense. Anyone can see that Sam Darnold is a top quarterback in the NFL right now. It's just very obvious. We don't have to keep fighting it. I know it's so hard to accept because Nick also, he kept saying, Sam Darnold, bad. The Minnesota Vikings are not going to be good, not going to be good, not going to be good, not going to be good. He was so confident in that. He made fun of Colin Cowherd for that, and now he just will not let that go. And as soon as he has one bad game, as soon as the Vikings lose one game, he's going to be like, I told you. And Brew has him on Pumpkin Watch, and Wilds has him on Pumpkin Watch, I think, and Nick has him on Pumpkin Watch. Everyone's got Sam Darnold on Pumpkin Watch. It's not coming. It's not going to come. Sam Darnold is going to continue to be the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. Mark my words. He is going to continue to be the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, and they are going to continue to have high levels of success. And on that note, I'm going to try my best to go to bed. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Sam Darnold being like, my God, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th best quarterback right now? Like what? At the very least, he's got to be at least top 10. He's got to at least be top 5, top 6, top 7. Oh God, I'm going to get all refired up. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.